Hey everyone, Ro here. Well, I'm just done watching episode 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and oh boy have we got a lot to talk about. I missed out on talking about episodes 1 and 2 due to some commitments, so I have been dying to talk about this. Now, going forward there are going to be spoilers, so obviously this chat is only for the people who have already sat down to watch it. So with that said, let's just jump straight in. Now, episode 3 followed on exactly where we left off with Obi-Wan, having managed to escape the clutches of the third sister, and reeling from the revelation that Anakin is still alive. It's really interesting to see Obi-Wan keep reaching out to Qui-Gon, and not receiving any answer. We saw it first on Tatooine, and then again here in the cargo transport. I'm still very much at the beginning of diving into the wider new Disney lore, but I don't know if there's a reason out there already for Qui-Gon not answering, but I'm really hoping to see this developed as we continue. Several times now we've seen him reaching out to his former master, so you really feel like it's going to be an ongoing storyline. But I'm really hoping to see this developed as we continue. If it's something to do with Obi-Wan disconnected with the Force for so long, or if there's something more. You can't help but feel it's all building to a Liam Neeson appearance. I don't care how you felt about the prequels, seeing Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon on the screen again together, even if it is just a Force ghost, that would be pure nostalgia. Now, I've steered well clear of any spoilers, so I thought we'd be keeping the Vader appearances to a bit of a minimum until a big series finale. And well, was I wrong? Straight to Mustafar, we got the gearing up sequence out the Bacta tank, Vader chastising the third sister. Then of course what it ultimately built up to later in the episode. We'll discuss that in a bit, but it really feels like he's a main character in this series. There was a lot of talk and hype regarding the rematch against Obi-Wan, but I think their relationship and dynamic is far more important. They're really building and highlighting the guilt and sorrow that Obi-Wan is feeling regarding Anakin. You can genuinely feel the emotional conflict that he's going through. I mean, it goes without saying when it comes to Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's really great acting. He really embodies that character well. There's a moment when he and Leia are walking along the road, and she innocently asks him why would he lie. It's a completely unrelated topic to Anakin, yet Obi-Wan can't help but snap. People are not all good, Leia. And this isn't aimed at Leia. This is Obi-Wan's frustration and turmoil bubbling over. And then, as if to confirm it, a few moments later he sees the vision of Anakin, really reaffirming to us the stress that Obi-Wan is feeling. This really has to be the most emotional and deep Star Wars series we've had yet. We had a few moments in The Mandalorian, which was amazing for a whole different amount of reasons. But here in Obi-Wan Kenobi they are really pulling at those heartstrings. Now going back, speaking of Leia, the young actress that's playing her has done a really great job. The growing dynamic between her and Obi-Wan is coming along feeling really natural. In this episode you can see how it's evolved into a more comfortable relationship between the two. The trust that has now been established over the past 2 episodes. There's always a bit of a risk there for me when including younger characters, but for me the part has been written well and definitely delivered. The whole sequence when they were hitchhiking a ride and the stormtroopers came aboard, you just knew the questions were going to come. But the way that Leia assisted in getting them through the situation, again, really well done. And it builds into the future character of Leia that we all know. You can see the signs of the woman she will grow up to be in this child. And did you hear the tone change in Obi-Wan's voice when he said the line, "I see her mother's face"? Go back and give it another watch if you didn't quite catch it. It's a real subtle but important change. We the viewer of course know that he's referring to Padme. However, the way that Ewan McGregor delivered it, that helps to give understanding to why Leia then questions about her. Again, just nicely written and well performed. They've been separated now, but considering we know Leia grows up to be the Princess of Alderaan, well, I'm willing to bet that Kenobi will go on the search once again. Is it me, or did anyone else get vibes of Reva the Third Sister being redeemed by the end of the series? I dunno, I certainly felt a few hints of foretelling throughout the episode. When Vader was walking the street taking out the civilians, when she found the safe house and saw the Jedi symbol, there's definitely some history there. I could be wrong, maybe they're going for something else, but that was definitely the vibe I got. Now that Vader has really entered the scene for Obi-Wan, it does feel like Reva will need something else to take on the focus for her story. Maybe she'll once more have to lead the hunt for Kenobi, or now she's taken Leia we'll see some development in that area. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a shift in her ongoing narrative moving forward. And again, I think we'll see some hints of good inside her. First of all, if there's one thing all Star Wars fans need to give Disney credit for, then it's the way they have treated Darth Vader since taking over the franchise. He is built up to be the ultimate threat. And man, they did not disappoint here. When Obi-Wan recoiled, you knew it was because he sensed Anakin. The goosebumps were immediately racing up my arm. And then we got undoubtedly the most Sith scene Vader has ever had on screen. Slowly pacing down the street, yanking out civilians with the Force choking, neck snaps, dragging them along the ground behind him. It was just the ultimate bad guy scene. Literally and figuratively reaffirming to Obi-Wan that this is Darth Vader and not Anakin. He was doing this because he sensed Obi-Wan himself, trying to draw him out from his hiding place. The same tactics we've seen the Inquisitors use in Episode 1. A nice little tie-in between the two, whether it was intended or not. Was I the only one not expecting to see Vader and Obi-Wan going toe-to-toe already? I was really quite shocked by that. I thought for certain Obi-Wan would be fleeing down the tunnel while Vader destroyed the town in search. However, he stayed, and we got the two former friends going face to face. No, it wasn't quite the Revenge of the Sith duel, but I don't think it was supposed to be. As Obi-Wan himself said, this is not the Jedi Knight of old. He's been disconnected from the Force, living out in a cave for 10 years. He's not going to be the Jedi Knight he used to be. And I really feel that this was just the first act, and there is more yet to come. Vader was fighting as Vader would. Nothing but pure power. Each stroke of his lightsaber just having his full force behind it. The use of lighting in the scene, the blue of Obi-Wan's saber against the red, out in the darkness of I don't know what that was, some kind of gravel pit. It was really nicely done and it came across on screen really well. It definitely felt like it was a stepping stone for me from their duel in Revenge of the Sith to what we would later see in A New Hope. Now, I don't think they're done for this series, and I definitely think we'll see them cross sabers once again. But still, I think that was very much intended. Now, Vader burning him the same as he suffered. What a moment that was. I'm not sure it was intended, but it did feel like Vader let Obi-Wan go. Again, maybe this is just me and I'm seeing something that's not there. but it definitely felt like he just stood there and watched as Obi-Wan was helped away. I'm pretty sure that Vader could have used the Force there if he wanted to. Am I misinterpreting things? Maybe, I don't know. Obviously we can't see Vader's expressions, so a lot of it is left to be inferred by us. Maybe he was reflecting on their duel on Mustafar, or just the history between the both of them. But again, for me, it definitely felt like he let Obi-Wan go. I mean, I'm gonna give it another watch later anyway, so maybe I'll change my opinion on second viewing. The good thing is we've got a few more episodes to go, and I'm sure this is not the last we'll see of them going toe to toe. Vader's "I am the Master now" comment in A New Hope might not make much sense otherwise. I think we'll see an Obi-Wan a little more connected to the Force and ready to fight in their next one. There's no way the only fight between Obi-Wan and Vader was taking place in episode 3, and then we don't get them going toe to toe anymore. That is just not happening. The groundwork has just been laid. But as always everyone, what did you think of episode 3? What did you think of the rematch between Obi-Wan and Vader? And what do you think of the series in general so far? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers. If you're new, please consider dropping a like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And with that said, I am off and I'll see you all again real soon.